Welcome to the Zesty Ginger Podcast. We are Megan and Dr. Alex. We are here for transformation. Yours, ours, and the collective. Personal and professional for practitioners. But not just any transformation. Compassionate transformation. Because between the two of us, we have seemed to have done things the painful way. Let our pitfalls become your stepping stones. We aren't afraid to share our raw and vulnerable truths in order to help you transform your thinking, your body, your heart, and your soul. Combining 15 years of functional medicine with brain-based habit change to lead you to the best life possible in a compassionate way. Compassion, yes, yet plan to roll up your sleeves. Transformation requires your participation. And a quick reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor, not this doctor, before making changes. Now let's get into the episode.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of our series of possibility. So if you're jumping in here new, I want you to go ahead and go back to yesterday's because this is a series that goes in order. And there's going to be a whole thing happening here in December, so go on back and check that out before you go any further. This is Megan here, co-founder of Zesty Ginger, and I am happy to be your host this month on the Possibility series. So, as promised, and I know you've all been waiting, I will kick off this episode with a dad joke. Oh, I giggle even thinking about these. What did the 0 say to the 8? That belt looks good on you. Oh gosh, I know. I can't help myself. Okay, simple exercise for day 2. Super simple, right? Some days are going to be simple. As we start our game for the month, what I would like you to do is go ahead and get out your workbook. If you did not already get the workbook, you can go on over to zestyginger.com/possibility. And that's where you can get the workbook. So the workbook, which you're going to turn in by January 3rd, and you're going to use to win some spots in our January in-person training. So grab the workbook. In the workbook, you're going to fill in 3 to 5 things. Super simple. 3 to 5 things that you didn't think that were possible then, that you now have or do. Okay, 3 to 5 things. Or maybe it's an identity that's easy for you now that wasn't easy for you then. So I have some examples for me to just get those thoughts flowing. I remember when I was first going gluten-free and eating whole foods, and man, it was a struggle. Like I remember going into the store and standing there holding the box and just looking and reading every single label and trying to figure out, like, does this fit into what I'm doing? Is this meet the needs, right? And it felt like a job, and I really didn't want to be doing it. I hadn't yet felt or experienced any of the benefits. So it was just like based on willpower. And so then at some point, I lived a certain way, I ate certain foods, and at some point, just eating, we'll say eating in general, but eating gluten-free, for example, is just a super simple lifestyle. It's not a thought. The tricky part is when we are going back and forth between the two identities and we're going, which one am I today? Do I eat the bread? Oh, it's really good bread. Oh no, I'm gluten-free, right? It's the back and forth that's exhausting. It's really not the actual thing once you do it, because now I've tested it enough to know, and I have tested it many times, because we don't really believe in the idea of removing things just for the sake of removing things. Even Dr. Alex, who has celiac disease or had, or whatever you want to call it, she is changing her genes. She is actually has been exposed to gluten. She doesn't eat it on purpose because, that's not a choice she's making, but she has been exposed a few times and had no reaction. Whereas when I first met her, oh yeah, I knew, we all knew, everyone knew if she had eaten gluten, right? Like it wasn't good. The bathroom was going to be taken up for a while. So she has shifted things. It's just our lifestyle though, so it is not a struggle. Speaking in front of people is something that I now crave and I love. And we run live events, and here I am on a podcast. And this definitely wasn't always like this. I had super fear of speaking. My dad's always like, I can't even really believe that you're doing what you do now, because I would just shut down even at the family dinner table of like, what's one thing you learned today? Not a cool thing to me. So, okay, that's something that I didn't think was ever possible that is now just the way I am. Living 4 blocks from the ocean, having a lake house. After living in San Diego, we lived in San Diego and Hawaii, with my husband in the military. So we're 8 years San Diego, 4 in Hawaii, or 3. Yeah, 3 in Hawaii. Living by the ocean didn't really seem like a possibility because, those homes were gazillion dollars. And in my brain, that was just something that would never happen until we got stationed in Virginia Beach, and we are 4 blocks from the ocean. So it's total possibility now, and I love it. I walk there every single day. Being a coach and owning a business, I worked in, my degree is in mechanical engineering college, and I did that for 10 years. I worked in a corporate office, and that was just what I did and what I thought I'd always do. So that was a big jump. And this is now something that I can't even imagine doing. I mean, no one would hire me at this point. I don't even remember anything. But it's just funny like that was actually, that was 10 years my identity. And now it's 10 years on the other side doing this. And it's just like, there's just no question. But if back then, if you were to ask me would you maybe own your own business? Or I was like, heck no, I don't know how to do that. That's complicated. That's for other people. So how do you know, and how did you know when you were successful? Let's just look back on that. So when I knew with these things, for example, the lake house, like I knew it would happen and I got excited about it. I visualized that thing for a year, but I wasn't worried about when it would happen. I just knew that anything is possible. There's always a way. And I was not arguing my limitations. So I just knew it was coming. And if you look at the different things in your life, if you write down those 3 to 5 things that you didn't think were possible that are now possible, you may also see a pattern. What did you do in those scenarios to make that happen? Because now you have a strategy and something you could map over to different parts of your life and whatever your identity you're going for in 2023. Cool. Okay, that's today's exercise. So if you want to wire this in a bit faster, as I mentioned last time, we have an audio, which you can go ahead and add on for only $10 if you go to zestyginger.com/meditations. And if you want to double down, you get the audio and come to our January event. Grab your ticket now. We have limited spots. It is $197 until December 10th. So grab it while there's an early bird special, and then it goes up to $297. We're going to reward those early birds. So I am so happy to have you here. And we will end with a little bit of possibility.
If you are anything like I was, you think about your body a lot, almost all the time. You worry about what it looks like, what it feels like, what it looks like to other people. Is it too big? Is it too small? Everything is focused on your body. That's how I used to move through my days, was obsessed with how I looked and how I felt. And were people judging me? Was I judging myself? And the biggest gift that I got a lot of gifts, but the biggest gift that I got from taking part in the Transformation Accelerator coaching program was the ability to remove those false negative beliefs and decisions that I've had about myself and my body. Freeing me from that allowed me to release weight that was no longer serving me, but also changed my view of myself. I no longer hold that as the main point of who I am. It's part of me, and I'm calm and comfortable and confident in my body now. And I hope and wish that for everybody. Taking part in that program allowed me to be able to refocus my mind, refocus my day, because we're all human. And even though I cleared a lot of negative and unwanted beliefs and decisions that I held about myself, sometimes they creep back up. But that's the other part of the program, is you leave with tools that help you daily to stay on your track, to believe in yourself, to have confidence, and to move through your world with calmness, confidence, and comfortability. It's what I wish for you.
Thanks for coming out to hang with us on the podcast. It is our goal to transform the way women are treated in healthcare. And we need your help. We need your help to get the word out. We have a lofty goal of 1 million downloads. And we know that as this podcast grows, we're going to be able to reach more women, get more amazing speakers for you, and bring the most cutting edge information.
If you found these pod classes helpful, please take a moment to text 5 women you know the link to the series. We appreciate your help so much. Can't wait to see you next time.